Good morning, YouTube. Today's video is brought to you by common sense. Yes, common sense. That one thing that is guaranteed to make your life better. Use it, or they will abuse you. Okay, now, for the subject for today's video is something that I call the Veil of Secrecy. You might know it as something else. But in this video, I'm going to describe what the Veil of Secrecy is, how it was created, why I think it is the greatest threat our republic has ever faced, and what we need to do to remove that threat. So let's start with the definition. The Veil of Secrecy, as I know it, refers to that the secrecy that the federal government uses to shield the vital decision-making parts of our government from public view. Okay, and for example, law enforcement and the intelligence communities are, and of course the military. But we're not going to really focus on the military aspect. We're going to be focusing on law enforcement and intelligence because it is these organizations that was where the trouble is located. Anyway, so what it is there are aspects of our government where the citizens have no idea what's going on. Okay, and that is a very big problem for a democracy. You can't have a government where the people don't know what's going on in a republic for very long, because one of two things is going to happen. Either this hidden aspect of the government is going to have to be revealed to the people, or the democracy will die, and you'll get an authoritarian state. It's Darwinistic. It just can't not happen. So now let's move into how this Veil of Secrecy occurred. Okay, and for that we have to go back to just after World War II and the beginning of the Cold War, which was a very unsettling time for America. We were in a position that we had never found ourselves in as the leader of the free world, and we were going toe-to-toe with this huge monster, the Soviet Union. And what's worse than that is these people seem to have the ability to read our minds. Their agents had infiltrated our government, and nothing was safe. I mean, look what happened to the atomic bomb, a major trump card that we had after the war, and we only got to keep it for 4 years because of treason within our ranks. Okay, so that was the genesis of the Veil of Secrecy. Okay, the compartmentalizing of our governments and the hiding of it behind this veil. Okay, now at the time, by the way, my parents were both there for the founding. Okay, I'm not going to talk too much about them, but they both worked for the United States government, and they both had top secret clearances. Okay, can you imagine what the conversation at the dinner table was like when I was growing up? Anyway, the point is that when this Veil of Secrecy was created, they knew that they were creating a monster. But they felt that the threat that the Soviet Union posed to our country was worth the risk. Okay, the assumption was that once the Cold War was over, that the monster would go away. Well, that didn't happen. Hence, point 3. Why is this Veil of Secrecy a threat to our republic? Not just any threat, but the gravest threat we've ever faced. Well, let me explain. Okay, so as you know, the Cold War ended around 89, 90. Okay, but this secrecy was maintained. Okay, and then enhanced dramatically after 9/11. Okay, now my first inklings that there was a problem occurred around 1988. Okay, when information that was gathered by the government to protect us was used to affect the 1988 presidential election. Okay, information was leaked about a senator from Colorado, Gary Hart, that derailed him from his attempt to become president. Now, at the time, I kind of agreed with what was going on, so I averted my eyes and pretended I saw nothing. Sorry. It was a mistake that a lot of people made, because the problem only got worse. Okay? What happened was this freaking alliance grew up between the intelligence and the law enforcement people, corrupt politicians on the Hill, and journalists in the media to control our government. Okay? So in the 30 years since then, it has gotten to be this huge cancer that has consumed the law enforcement and intelligence agencies. And we only have to don't have to look very far to see the results of that, where you have a situation now where members of these communities are in open revolt against a sitting president of the United States and are actively seeking to remove him from office. Okay? And using your common sense, you know that is true. Okay? So, I consider that a grave threat. Okay, and think that if you're clear thinking, you'll realize that this is true. Now, what can we do about this? Well, here's the good part of this story. We don't have to do anything. It's already been done. It's already been done. It's already begun. The coup attempt, and that's what it was, although they don't realize it yet, has failed, and it has failed miserably. Okay, as you are aware, there is a classified intelligence that is going to be getting released very soon that is going to document this attempted coup. Okay, and you know the actors, Comey, McCabe, the guy with that name that Stork, nobody can pronounce, Stork and his girlfriend, okay, and those other people. So anyway, when that comes out, you're going to realize that the corrupt politicians in Washington weaponized these agencies to try and prevent Donald Trump from becoming president. And then once he became president, I've actively initiated an attempted coup against him. That failed. Now, once this is made public, these people will be arrested. Okay? And then we start to roll them up. And on top of that, there's going to be an outcry by the people. And they're going to want to know more about what was going on behind this veil of secrecy. And what they're going to find out is that it goes much deeper than they think. They think that the government has only been spying on them. But in reality, the government has harmed hundreds, if not thousands, of Americans through ways that you'll find out very soon, because they committed the crime of annoying politicians in Washington and or business interests on Wall Street. Okay? So this is going to be quite a show, all right, as this all unfolds. And I'm pretty confident that once the American people know the full extent of the corruption, the veil of secrecy will be torn down. Okay? And this is all going to happen. It just hasn't happened yet. But like the man that has fallen off the ladder but has not yet hit the ground, the outcome is inevitable. These people will hit the ground. And right now, they're just sitting there thinking about how hard it's going to hurt when it hits. So, anyway, this is going to conclude my video on the veil of secrecy. Enjoy your day. And most important of all, enjoy the coming storm.